Welcome everybody to the SBENU Season 2 Star League Grand Finals here. It is going to be Dream up against Classic in one of the most epic finals you have ever seen. A TVP for the night, one best of 7 to decide who will be the victor at the end of all this.
That's right, Valdez. It's very exciting. Dream gets a second shot in these grand finals. He failed in Season 1. Can he do it in Season 2? Hello and welcome. We are in the fish tank today.
Yeah.
There is no ventilation in here, so we will eventually fade, and you guys will notice.
Yeah.
But keep this in mind.
We'll do our best to get all of our energy out here. We'll melt towards the end of the cast, but regardless, Moonglade, I am so excited to get into this finals. It's going to be insane. Like you mentioned, Dream, he gets another shot here. He's going up against his teammate in Classic.
That's right.
And both of these guys are on a roll. It's really hard to call who's going to come ahead. I think there is one slight favorite here. But guys, let's go first to a opening video for the finals.
영광의 초대 챔피언은 바로 조성준!
졌지만 그래도 다음에는 결승 무대 다시 올라와서 우승하도록 하겠습니다.
조중혁 떨어지면 테라는 멸종입니다. 이번 스타리그에서 진짜 포기하고 싶을 겁니다. 조중혁 포기해도 누가 뭐라 하지 않아요. 말도 안 되는 괴물 같은 수비력을 보여줬거든요. 어느 누구도 조중혁 선수가 거품이었다 얘기할 수 없는 상황이 됐습니다. 유일한 테란이 되고 말았거든요. 우승 한번 차지하고 그 이후부터는 내내 내리막길이었기 때문에 김도우가 무슨 거품이니 아니니
저 배지 자체가 거품이거든요. 거품이라는 직원이 나오니까 너무 많이 나오니까 정말 거품으로 보여요. 자체가.
경력의 조합에서 김도우가 압살하고 있는 그림이네요.
또 결승을 향해 달려갑니다.
7년이든 8년이든 간에 모든 게이머에게는 결승은 간절한 거예요.
Crazy opening video there. I know it was pretty much all in Korean, guys, but I can give you a small summary a little bit later on. We're about to jump straight into the interviews, though, with both of our 2 finalists. Let's see what they have to say.
Both on the same team, so a lot of metagaming going on already. Both these guys have a lot of chemistry as well. So it should be interesting to see what they have to say. Looks like we are going to be starting with Dream. We'll soon find out exactly what they have to say.
Yep, and here comes Classic, the teammate of Dream. Everybody called him foam on top of your coffee cup, something that easily disappears. But he proved everybody wrong, and he made it here to the finals.
That's right. Both considered bubbles.
Yeah, for their own respective races. Very funnily, they both make it here to the finals. Maybe that's what drove them to make it here.
Both bubbling to the top this season. Dream did it last season as
well. Started off good,
No,
Moonglade.
I'm not stopping, brother.
Well, let's go straight into the interview now. You're in the finals for the 2nd consecutive time. Does it feel any different compared to the previous finals? It feels very different. He feels a lot more confident this time that he can become the champion.
뭔가 더 보여줄 것이 많다는 얘기가 있었고 기록을 찾아봤더니 2011년도에 김상준 선수와 공식전 경기를 치른 이후에 어떻게 보면 한 5년 동안 참고 4, 5년 참고 이 결승전 무대를 연속해서 밟으면서 조준혁 시대를 열어놓을 준비를 하고 있잖아요.
It's been your first finals in about 5 years now since you first got your first finals, or I guess when you debuted possibly. How did you prepare for Classic? Well, I can't really tell you about my strategies, but my preparation went perfectly. And I really can't even see myself winning, or losing rather, even one set today.
Damn, that is confidence. As expected from Dream.
Would you have felt the same way if it had been a different player from a different team? He thought that he could become the champion after defeating Life.
못하는 토스들만 남은 것 같아서. 네.
And he defeated a bunch of Protoss players after that.
네.
But he doesn't think those Protoss players are top players, funnily enough. So he felt confident that he could defeat any of the Protoss players that advanced from that point on. And so far he has.
So now you're playing against a teammate. Once again, he says that you're not good of a Protoss player. How do you feel about this comment? I saw all the VODs of Dream in recent times, and I can't understand how he advanced this far. I think he was very lucky until now. But he's ran out of luck today, and he's going to lose. So it's been over a year since you played in the finals. You kind of had a slump.
2009년 스타크래프트 상반기 드래프트 평가전 전체 2위. 이것이 거의 유일한 상위권 수치였고 그것을 제한 나머지 숫자가 없었습니다. 사실상 김도우 선수가 거의 7년
In your career, you had second place in 2009 until you had that championship win last year against his teammate Su.
This guy's been around forever.
이제 오늘 경기를 통해서 보여주고 싶은 게 있다면 어떤 것들이 있을까요?
So you're going to have to prove yourself once again in today's matches. What's your determination? I couldn't sleep imagining myself becoming the champion once again. I'm really looking forward to playing again today. I'm full of confidence.
우승할 것 같아서 미리부터 설렌다라는 말했는데 일단은 근데 조준호 선수는 그런 얘기했습니다. 질 것이 안 보인다.
But
지는
Dream
방향이 안 보인다.
said
이런 얘기했습니다.
doesn't see himself losing a single set today. How do you feel about that comment? I didn't expect Dream to come up to the finals. I thought it was going to be here. I was practicing PvP from that point.
Wow.
But Hero's condition wasn't that good in the semi-finals. So Dream was lucky to advance to the finals. And I asked Dream if he was nervous this morning, and Dream said he wasn't nervous at all. And I asked the same question to Su last year, and Su had the same exact answer. So I feel Dream is going to follow the same footsteps as Su.
Wow. A lot of smack talk coming from Classic. He doesn't hold back.
No, man.
Against Dream, who's younger than him, in fact. His little donger here.
His little donger, man. I kind of expected them to have this kind of chemistry as well.
Any final comments to your opponent? He said I was lucky to advance to the finals. But if he went against Life, he wouldn't be here at all. He was very lucky with the bracket that he got. He was thinking about giving him a set because he was his teammate, but now he's going to have to win 4-0, says Dream.
중혁이보다는 이제 중혁이 응원 와주신 팬분들한테 제가 저번 시즌 때 중혁이 준우승하는 거 보니까 굉장히 마음이 아프더라고요.
Last season,
오늘 또 그럴 것 같아서 좀
I watched him become the runner-up, and I'm going to have to say sorry to his fans once again because he's going to be runner-up once again in the second consecutive season.
오늘 특히나 보시는 바와 같이 결승전하기 좋은 날입니다.
So it's a really good day to be in the finals because we canceled the outdoor finals and it rained a lot today. So it was a very good call overall. So everyone packed into this next arena is enjoying it.
Tons of people here today.
Completely
First
packed
floor,
out.
second floor.
Yep. Means we're stuck in this booth, Valdez.
The only downside.
Yeah, the only downside.
경기를 펼치는 그 경기를 여러분들께서 만나볼 수 있습니다. 그리고 마지막으로 여러 가지 특히나 이 호흡기 증후군의 여파 머릿속에 분명히 남아 있음에도 불구하고 이 자리를 가득 메우신 여러분 덕분에 왜 스타크래프트2가
Saying thank you to all the fans that came out to the studio despite the MERS outbreak here in Korea and despite the rain. It really shows how famous StarCraft 2 is in Korea to see this many people show up tonight. The fans are ready. The players are ready. He's ready. I'm ready. Moonlit, are you ready?
I'm pretty ready, Valdez.
Let's start the finals right now. Let's start it with a player interview video.
테란의 진행 강자 SK텔레콤 T1팀 조중혁 선수입니다. 지난 시즌에 이어서 다시 한번 결승전에 진출합니다.
2회 연속 결승 진출한 거에 대해 너무 뿌듯하고 그리고 이번에 우승한다면은 진짜 최고의 자리에 설 수 있을 것 같아서 되게 많이 기대하고 있어요.
영광의 초대 챔피언은 바로 조성준.
성주가 우승을 하고 딱 우승 반지를 가져가고 모든 스포트라이트 성주한테 쏠리고 테란 원탑이다 이런 식으로 됐잖아요. 그래서 되게 자극이 많이 됐고 그래서 더 테란 원탑 자리를 더 꿰차고 싶어서 더 간절하게 연습했던 것 같아요. 제가 작년에 우승하고 나서 굉장한 슬럼프를 겪어서 다시 결승에 올라갈 수 있을까라는 생각을 많이 했어요.
결승전 티켓을 손에 넣은 선수는 바로 김도우 선수입니다.
정말 너무 뿌듯하고 두 번째 결승이지만 얼른 결승전에 가서 부진했던 걸 떨쳐내고 싶다라는 생각이 많아서 다시 우승하고 싶어요.
근데 거품이라고 생각하는 선수는 또 조중혁 선수로 꼽았습니다.
저는 B조 들어가고 싶어요.
저도 한 곳만 바라보고 오긴 했거든요. 조지명식 때는 화가 많이 났고 솔직히 저는 제 스스로 거품이라고 1도 생각 안 했기 때문에 그리고 거품이라고 말하는 선수들 다 제가 이겼거든요. 그래서 입증했으니까 상관없어요. 사실 이러기도 쉽지 않을 텐데 제가 작년에 킬킬전을 이기고 우승을 했기 때문에 이번에도 자신 있고 오히려 더 편할 수도 있을 거라고 생각을 해요. 저도 중혁이 스타일을 많이 알고 있기 때문에.
김준호라는 상대는 조중혁에게 부담스러운 상대임엔 분명합니다.
10초 만에 들어갑니다. 그냥
거실!
들어갑니다. 거실만 다 밀렸고 거실.
자, 빨리 내려와야죠, 김준호.
예상하지 못한 스코어를 조중혁이 얻어내고 있습니다.
2대0 스코어 때부터 솔직히 이겼구나 생각했고 그냥 가겠구나라는 생각을 했어요, 결승에. 그래서 기뻤지만 담담했던 것 같아요. 그때 처음에 추적자가 때릴 때는 나오겠지라는 희망을 가지고 있었는데 두 마리가 때리는 거예요. 진짜 안델론인가 생각하면서 보고 있었거든요.
못 나올 것 같아요. 맞습니다.
딱 진짜 깨지면서 나오는 거 보고 이렇게 하늘이 저를 버리진 않았구나 싶었고 딱 이기고 나서는 진짜 눈물이 날 정도로 너무 좋았고 제 자신이 자랑스럽고 그랬어요. 딱 부스 나왔을 때 팬분들께서 제 이름 환호해 주시는 그때 정말 너무 짜릿했고 정말 그것 때문에 프로게이머를 하는 것 같고 꼭 결승전 때도 우승해서 그 환호를 느끼고 싶어요, 다시 한번. 도우 형이 완성형 프로토스라고는 생각 안 하기 때문에 저번 결승 때 봤는데 좀 반짝이도 부족한 것 같고 충분히 약점이 지금도 머릿속에 그려지고 결승 당일 경기에서 아마 그 약점을 노려서 이기는 모습이 아마 나올 것 같아요. 좀 변칙적인 플레이에 약하더라고요. 준영이가 연습하는 거에서도 좀 까다로울 테고 아마 고생할 것 같아요.
골결정 순식간에 그대로 도령 고립됐죠.
10만 덩그러니 남네요.
그때도 이겼고 결승도 이길 것 같고 너무 자신감이 많아서 전 지금 제가 이길 것 같아요. 좀 평소에 안 하던 플레이를 했다가 좀 허무하게 진 경기들이어서 전에 졌던 거는 전혀 생각하지 않고 있어요. 진짜 운 없어서 한두 판 지는 거 빼고 운영으로 한 판도 안 지기 때문에 준비만 잘 된다면 정말 4대0으로 이길 수도 있고 4대0 혹은 4대1 정도? 제일 무난한 스코어는 4대2인 것 같아요. 팀원으로서 최대한 예우 지키면서 말해서 솔직히 잘한다는 느낌 안 들고 주영아 넌 아직 어리기도 하고 앞날이 창창하기 때문에 다음 시즌 잘하면 되니까 형한테 양보하도록 하고 압도적으로 이기지 않을까 생각하고 있어요. 내가 우승하도록 할게. 팬분들께서 보내주시는 그 응원과 환호가 정말 아직도 생생하고 연습도 굉장히 열심히 해서 자신감도 넘치는 상태이기 때문에 다시 정상까지 올라갈 수 있도록 하고 싶어요. 꼭 보답하는 멋진 경기력 결승전에서 보여드릴 테고 우승하는 모습 지켜봐 주셨으면 좋겠습니다.
Oh boy, Moonlid, I am feeling the hype. Both these guys right now extremely confident. You can see it on their faces when they're talking, the things that they're saying. Both of them saying, oh, you know, a 4-0 is possible from my side.
So much confidence
That's insanity.
from both sides. And it's so interesting because they are teammates. They practice with each other every day. They see everything these guys have to offer each other. So it's going to make for some really interesting games. And I don't know who can win this. I'm favoring Dream myself personally. I know you are too.
Yeah, we got the Dream pins on top.
They're on top for a reason,
that one,
guys.
The Terran one up here, the Protoss one down here.
But at the same time, it is a team fight, and anything can happen essentially.
Yeah, of course, we say this all the time. Like Classic, he knows this guy inside and out. He even said it in the interview. He wouldn't have said it there unless he did actually know all about him. They've been teammates for so long after Dream came over to SK Telecom, and like these guys know each other inside out. There's so many mind games that go into every single game for different maps and stuff.
Absolutely.
They know how they like to play each map, so they might want to switch it up, but then of course the other guy will think, oh, maybe he's going to switch it up, and then he has to switch his own build, so they're going to be very much in each other's minds and in their own heads at the same time.
There's a lot of mind games that come into play, a lot of stylistic sort of traits that not everyone notices except for the teammates that you have.
Yeah. Well, taking a look at some stats here, both on SK Telecom T1, Protoss and Terran, of course, you guys know that. Dream born in 1996, October 27th. The Classic was 1991, November 27th there.
Wow.
Both born on the 27th day, funnily enough. Classic debuted in 2009, Dream debuted in 2011, and their first StarCraft 2 game, I believe, was...
oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense, because Dream was pretty much straight from the start of StarCraft 2, and Classic came over with the Kesper team, so that makes a lot of sense.
And just looking here at the way they got to the finals, Dream, of course, had to go through both Hyun and Classic once in a best-of-3. He already defeated him 2-0.
Beat him down pretty single-handedly, too.
And then took out Life in a best-of-5, 3-2, one of the craziest series we had ever had, the rematch at that point. And then he defeated Hero, of course, to Protoss 4-0. And didn't get to Classic.
No, but that's all we needed to see, Valdez. I mean, Dream has just been doing so well, and as you said, he has gone through Classic already before. As we have a look at these couple of...
I've never seen a graph like this for StarCraft 2 being made, but funnily enough, it said that Dream was the best at control and attacking.
Okay.
I didn't know the other ones, to be honest. But
and we haven't looked at the kind of the wins that Dream has had on his way up to here. He's beaten a lot of fantastic Zerg players and a lot of great Protoss players.
Yeah. And the same for Classic over here, losing to Dream that one time, also lost to Deer on Life, but other than that, straight wins across the board against very strong players as well.
He's had a bit of more of a bumpy road, though, getting to here. Not as much of a clean win as what Dream has.
Yeah. Very true. And taking a look at Dream's stats against all the different races. Against Protoss, by far is his best matchup. 80% win rate over 30 games.
That is such a huge statistic. That is so many games to have to have that kind of ratio. That's
it's
ridiculous.
Not like he's 4-1.
No.
He's 24-6.
Look at what Classic has. 7-4 against Terran.
Yeah. And, of course, these are stats since 2014, beginning of December. So, basically, the beginning of this season is where we're taking these stats from all across their games here in Korea.
Dream has played a lot more.
These are Korean commentators voting for the different players. So 6 of them went for Dream, and only 2 of them went for Classic. I know Kanada's over there. I don't recognize the other name that went for Classic.
Well,
the GSL caster, Park Sang-hyun is his name.
Okay.
I don't know his ID.
Well, we could also add 3 more to Dream's side with me, you, and Wolf. We all know, we all think that Dream's going to win this one, that's for sure.
Yeah, me and you going for 4-2, Wolf said 4-1. I think it's going to be somewhere around there. Unless Dream gets off to a really big start right at the beginning.
Could be a 4-0.
It could happen that it would be a 4-0 for sure. And
looking at some TVP right there as we switch over. And here comes the good stuff, Valdez.
Yeah, looks like the winner here will, of course, have their hands made, and they will get rings. as well as that gigantic trophy. A lot on the line here. The winner will, of course, get a bunch of WCS points.
I wonder if you could do any sort of gesture with your hand as well. Do you ever think about that, fellas?
What do you have in mind, Moonblade?
The peace sign, no doubt.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. not the middle finger, right? Because that would be a little bit too much,
That just wouldn't sit well in the studio, I think. That would actually be... But it'd be something
They're
to
like,
remember
sorry,
you by.
we have to take it down because of what you did with your hands.
It'd be a nice legacy.
You can't be recognized as doing that, so sorry, we're going to take you down.
Giving the player that amount of freedom would be something to respect as well, and I would appreciate it.
Yeah. We are about to get into this best of 7. This is going to be an insane finals. The one thing people aren't the happiest about is that it is a team kill, but at least we do get a TVP. These are both extremely strong players.
Yeah, I'm glad it's not like a PvP or anything like that. No mirror matchup, unless it was a ZVZ, then it'd be fantastic.
Yeah.
But we can do with this, TVP is team kill, but it also, there's a lot of interesting things that come to a team kill as well. As we were talking about, the mind games are just on that other level. It's like a level that we don't normally get to see because they know each other so well.
The other small part of that is that in the house, they actually have to switch their chairs. They have to even go in separate rooms at times. So they have to change up their practice regimen, something they're not used to, going to a different room. It's a small thing. It's not going to change whether or not someone's going to lose a game, but it definitely can affect their practice regimen, at least in the house.
Everything kind of changes up at that point. It's an awkward environment, too.
They can't talk to each other.
You're living together and stuff. Like, you're over the dinner table. It's like, I'm going to smash you, bro. And
especially with everything they were saying in the interviews. They were like, this guy, I don't even consider him that good. Like, he's, he's still young, whatever.
Dream is so used to hearing that at this point because he's had it for, like, the last season at least. Like, everyone just talks down to him, and he just has to beat everyone to show them.
Yeah. It seems like all of that smack talk against Dream. By the way, in the first video that we had, in the group selections for SSL, both Dream and Classic were called bubbles.
Yeah,
like we were talking about. Dream, he came up to the finals once. People were like, oh, he's not that good. He got lucky with the bracket, even though he defeated Life in a best of 7.
Right.
I don't know why they're saying that. It was probably just a bunch of smack talk. But they said the same thing about Classic. And both of those players defeated the players that said that about them. And they made it to the finals.
There's also an interesting thing about Classic as well, is that the only other finals he's won was against another teammate.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like this thing. It's like, well, you did win something, but you did beat your teammate. Same sort of thing happens today. It's like it's not the biggest win, or it's not the win that any of these guys want. They want to beat like a true rival, like a KT player, like something like that, something that they can really have some animosity against. When it's a teammate, it's just not the same thing.
Yeah, you're very right, Moonblade. Here's Dream, of course, from SK Telecom T1. He is currently ranked 5th in all WCS points, and if he wins tonight, man, he's going to be up there towards the top.
He might even be number 1. Like, I haven't done the math at all, but I wouldn't be surprised. He's just been winning so much. And
I think if he wins this, he automatically gets in. He might already automatically be into BlizzCon, so
almost
this guy's on a roll. He is not a bubble, that's for sure.
No, he's a, I don't know even what lasts forever, Valdez. What's something like a bubble that lasts forever? He is
I don't know, man, like a football dome?
He's a mole. He is a mole.
A mole.
They last forever.
Oh yeah, they do. That makes sense to me.
It's not really a bubble there.
Not quite, but we'll go with that for now. Here's Classic. He's currently 15th in WCS points, so he could hurt, actually, to get these points. He would actually very much like to secure his spot with this win.
It'd give him a big boost. Either way, he's going to jump the ranks for sure.
Yeah.
Classic, much less impressive sort of run in recent times. They've actually even had to play the IEM Shenzhen qualifiers recently, and Classic showed a lot of PvT in that.
Yeah.
Beating Dynamite, Hack, and Bravo. Not the biggest opponents, but still, you don't want to be giving away any of your style at this point.
Yeah. So just going more into the past 10 games these guys have had versus their respective races. This is Dream against Protoss. He only lost to Hero and SOS, and besides that, huge names across the board. Stats, Classic, Zest, Hero, SOS. Those are like top 5 Protosses in Korea.
The top Protosses in Korea. Like, that's it. Like, there's no one left for him to beat as Protoss. He can dominate them all at this point. And I mean, he's destroyed Hero in his last big match. In that best of 7, 4-0ing Hero. That is ridiculous. The fact that he could do that. So coming into today, I'm sure he is incredibly confident.
For sure. Both these guys in the chat talking to each other in the lobby right now. Classic spamming his heart out right now. But before they were saying, like, very, very nervous, the both of them, in fact, coming into this one. Just really excited to get into the game and kind of just a little bit of poking fun at each other. Just small stuff, but taking a look
Classics,
at
man.
Yeah,
he has not nearly beaten the top pro Terran players. I mean, he's really had some easy matches leading up to this. The likes of Keen, Yoda, Sky High, Journey, Center, Q. So many of these guys are just not the same level as what Dream has been going through recently.
I think the best Terran up there was either Byung or Cure.
Yeah, it might even be. I think it would have had to be Byung at this point. Cure hasn't been delivering lately.
Yeah, I could see that. Here's Dream. You see the spikes there. The names up there are actually Hyun is the first Zerg, and then the other two Zergs are Life. And it kind of shows you that was his highest point, then he dropped a little bit down, beat Life again, and then he just went on this giant win streak.
He figured out TVP essentially. Like, he just knows what to do at this point.
You guys can see all the sets and matches down there, 100%, 100% for versus Protoss at this point. And here's Classic against Creator, and then Dream, I believe that is, and then Stats.
Right. Okay. Not as impressive in terms of win percentage. Match versus T currently at 0%. Never a good thing to go into this match, is it? But
no, just not a lot of games played on his way up here against Terran.
Yeah, and that was against Dream. So yeah, there you go. How about that?
Funnily enough, and as we mentioned before, besides Dream, he didn't really face the top of the top level of Terrans. You know, no innovation up there, no Maru.
No, there just really wasn't the best players to show his style against. So I think Dream has a right to come into this very confident, looking to dominate this grand finals.
Yeah, and just taking a look at just more stats against these specific races. Dream versus Protoss 8-2 in matches, 15-4 in sets, and Classic versus Terran 8-2, 14-6. So kind of similar, but as we were saying before, a lot of those matches that Classic had to play were against kind of lower level Terrans.
Yeah, they were kind of like
mid-level,
B-level Terrans compared to the A-class of Maru.
You look at Center, you look at Journey, you even look at Sky High's matchup against Protoss.
Yeah.
It's not even that good.
It ain't that impressive.
Cure is kind of on a slump these days. He's not even playing that well. It's
Young is pretty good.
Young was definitely the best out of the 10 we saw there. And now looking at best of 7s, I believe, here.
Okay.
And this is going since, of course, December of 2014, so a while now for this season. In terms of best of 7s, Dream is 2-1. Classic, though, is 3-0. So that is something, you know, maybe a little bit better in that best of 7.
Yeah.
The one that Dream lost was against Maru. So
yeah. So it's really just not enough best of 7s we have in Korea or really anywhere in the world to warrant this kind of stat being too relevant. But it's something else to kind of take note in, and it also says a lot about stamina, like how these guys do in bigger sets. And Dream, no doubt, can do pretty well if it's a 4-0, that's for sure. Looking for that again today.
I'm just reading the chat right now as we're going through like the million slides we got here, and both of them are saying like, oh, I'm shaking, I'm really nervous, and then Classic's like, oh, I just want to win really fast. Can't we get started? And Dream is just like, you like the sad face for Korean.
Yeah.
Okay, finally we got some maps up here. We're gonna start with Merry-Go-Round. Definitely a Dream choice. He wants to get off to a big lead here in this best of 7. Then we go to Deadwing, Cactus Valley, King Sejong Station, Bonnie Research Station, Overgrowth, and Expedition Lost to finish it off.
So yeah, as you said, no doubt Dream choosing that first map. Great map for Terran. Very hard for Protoss to try and go for a third. So it will be a pretty quick game, that one, compared to most other maps, especially the second one, Deadwing. That map can last forever, and then that's where Classic is really at home, because he's more of that defensive sort of style of Protoss in a lot of matchups. He loves the late game. It's going to be up to Dream to really push Isho on that map.
Yeah. Kind of funny that Classic and Rain, both two Protosses that have made it to the finals over here for individual leagues so far. Sorry if I spoiled that for anyone for the GSL. Both very defensive Protosses, very similar styles. May kind of show you the way you're supposed to play Protoss.
Certainly a good way. Yes, absolutely. The current meta, I think, it's really good for Protoss to be a little bit more defensive.
Let's get in the game right now, Moonlight. It's on Merry-Go-Round to start the finals between Dream and Classic. Up here in the top right, in the red, our Terran player from SK Telecom T1. He is Dream.
Down here in the 6th, we do have the SKT Protoss player, Classic.
Looking good. Looking very focused, both of these players.
Yeah.
But Classic, I did notice a bit of a big, deep breath right before we got into it. Maybe feeling a little bit more nervous than Dream.
I think he should be, especially when you're starting out on merry-go-round. Probably one of the maps you don't really want to, I don't know, start the pace on for sure as a Protoss player against the Terran.
This might be the worst one, in fact.
One of the worst for sure. But, you know.
The other ones that Dream did pick were Cactus Valley and Bonnie Research Station, and then Expedition Lost is the 7th map.
Yeah, so he's got some work to do, but, you know, second map is going to be Deadwing, and you got a lot of space in a best of 7 before you have to start freaking out. You know, maybe when you're down 3 games, you can be like, okay, this is bad. But until then, you do have some breathing room. You can experiment and try a little more crazier stuff, especially on the first game. It's because it is on this kind of map as well. Maybe Classic will mix things up just a little bit more than usual.
Yeah, maybe. We'll see. You know, we were talking about it before, how he's definitely a very passive Protoss in pretty much all of his matchups. Maybe the most aggressive in PvP even, you know, which is kind of an interesting one. But maybe on this matchup, he kind of has to mix it up. I wouldn't be surprised. He's already putting his buildings in kind of an interesting position.
I like this a lot, actually. It is interesting for sure. And let's see. That probe actually got a great scout off, and it's going in a pretty interesting direction.
Could be going to Proxy Town, Moonglade.
Yeah, I'm thinking Proxy Town, but he's going pretty far for Proxy Town as well.
Could be Twilight Proxy Town. Or he could just be hiding the probe for a little bit of a later scout. We do see that from time to time.
Yeah, he is taking his time with it, that's for sure. And that's a Reaper expand from Dream. So keeping things, you know, pretty standard. Just a nice standard sort of start. Going to be scouting with that Reaper, looking for Classic.
Ooh. Yeah, I don't think Dream knows exactly where Classic is on the map just yet. So he's just going to jump up here first and then go back. He may go for an extra scout. No, just going to go straight to the other base. He wants to see what's going on as soon as possible.
Now, this is an interesting sort of SimCity that we are seeing from Classic already. You know, stuff at the front like this. It's interesting to see against the Terran player because Terran's going to have a pretty easy time poking the Cyber Core, which is one of the last things you want to happen early on as a Protoss player, but maybe he's got plans for it. This Reaper's going to have a lot easier of a time to scout.
Yeah. You know, maybe he's just not even planning on getting to a late enough point in this game to allow that to be an option for Dream. Maybe he's just going to be that aggressive. That probe is still on the left side of the map.
Yeah.
And he hasn't built anything.
I'm wondering if he's actually just going to use it, as you might have said, a later scout, or simply just a pylon probe on the map for when it's time to go.
Yeah. I do see it from time to time. He's still sticking over there. We could see with the Twilight Council coming up very fast. It could also possibly be a Dark Shrine, but he is going to have to throw down that pylon like right now.
He could put the Dark Shrine in the main base and then just throw down a proxy pylon to make it easier. That's also another way to go about it, I think. But it's really going to come down to what we see in the next few seconds, you know, once this Twilight finishes.
Yep. This is the question. He's got enough for Blink, and he is going to go straight into Blink.
He's going to block off the natural here with another gateway as well, and fully blocking it with that Stalker. So this is a very sort of PvZ-esque kind of building placement more than anything else. And let's see if Dream can kind of capitalize on it, because maybe he's thrown off a little bit. He's like, well, this is actually super weird.
Yep. Well, looking at what Classic's doing already, he's going to throw down 3 extra gateways. He still has not taken the gases in his natural. Would not be surprised to see a bit of a Blink.
Yeah,
aggression at least.
This is definitely it, but here comes the first problem, Valdez. There's a pylon powering that Cyber Core, which is researching Warp Gate right now. It's going to be unpowered.
Oh man, he's going to delay that so much. Probe tries to trigger the Widowmine, but it does not work out. The robotics facility is only halfway done, so it's going to be a very long time before he could even try to kill that Widowmine.
Yeah, this is actually super strange, and it's causing a lot of problems already for Classic. He's going to get the power up, and he should definitely get that Warp Prism. Sorry, the Warp Gate research.
Yeah. There we go, even chrono boosting that out. Nice micro here on his Stalkers to end things off. That one Stalker does live, but look at this drop. It's going to come straight in, and there's not enough energy here for another Photon Overcharge, and there's even the Widowmine with this one. He's trying to chrono boost out in Observer right now, but it's going straight into the Widowmine. into the mineral line here. It is going to be blocked off by a very nice pylon.
Yeah, not bad at all. He's still going to lose a lot of probes and a lot of mining time from this. But so many Stalkers here should be able to get rid of this Medivac. Sacking the Marines for these probe kills, though. And they're really adding up.
Yep. Getting 8 kills in total here. He's going to finally be able to take control back of his main base.
Ooh.
And at the same time, Dream, he knows what's coming. He saw everything in the main base with that drop, and he's already putting up 2 bunkers.
Oh, nice blink.
Nice.
Now, that could have been a disaster, but already Classic's economy is kind of in shambles at this point.
19 workers.
That is horrible for 2 bases, especially if you're going for a Blink Stalker all in.
Yep. I think he's just going to try to go for it right now, and if it doesn't work out, he'll GG out.
Seems that way. Well, you know, he's got a bit of room to do so. Oh, the bunker's only going up now. Only 1 Widow Mine in position as well. And
a lot of Stalkers.
That is a lot of Stalkers. 10 Stalkers behind those 2 Zealots.
He's blinking straight onto the bunker, and there are no SCVs here for the repair. And those 2 Zealots doing a lot of damage already, tanking a lot for the shots of the Stalkers, and now the Blink microwave begins. One of the Widow Mines goes down without even burrowing.
Yeah, this is not looking too good at all for Dream. He's losing way too many SCVs, and his army is too small to really fight this head on.
Oh, man. And he has got so many Stalkers here, Classic does. He's going to blink straight on, pulling all the SCVs from the main. And it may just not be enough here for Dream.
No, it doesn't look like it at all. There's simply too many Stalkers left over, and they all have Blink again. There's no units left over.
That's going to be it. Classic's going to take game 1. What a crazy first game.
Yeah, this could have gone either way. Just a little, maybe too much aggression from Dream, throwing away too many units after he scouted the tech, the plan of Classics.
And again, the SCV is not in position to try to repair that bunker for one last stand. GG, Classic takes merry-go-round in very, very quick fashion.
Yeah, very important win for Classic. Going to build up so much momentum. Going into the second map, it is going to be Deadwing. And this is going to be his hometown, man. This is going to be where he's the most comfortable. He's going to have a lot more space to defend against the aggression of Dream. He knows exactly how Dream plays these bigger maps. So it's not looking too good to start things off.
Yep. That was a wonky game, man. You know, I was thinking about that wall, and I was thinking maybe he studied a lot of Dream's games on this map. And you saw the push that Dream went for. It was just a very fast Widow Mine with a bunch of Marines. Maybe he just likes to walk in the Widow Mine up the ramp and try to get it like right on top of your units.
Right.
And Classic was trying to stop that. It seemed to kind of backfire at first. Of course, the Warpgate research was very delayed.
Well,
but at the same time, he did stop the push.
Yeah, it's definitely, as you said, I think you're right. He was prepared for that Widow Mine across the map push. So he kind of stopped that in his tracks, forced Dream to attack that side of the core, and it was kind of an easy defense because you just put a pylon behind it and you're good to go. But then Dream I guess he just committed a little too much to aggression, and the counterattack just killed him. If he had held that counterattack, he wins the game, because that the economy of Classics was ruined. Still a bit of a messy start.
Yeah. You can even kind of tell both these players playing with incredibly high energy right now. Even a bit nervous coming into that. Very excited play, I would say, from both players. But very well played, you know, from both sides. Classic is going to take that first game. We're